You mentioned a homeless report coming to EPC, so I want to talk about EPC right now. It's often referred to as the mayor's inner circle of the Executive Policy Committee. And you know, for years now, long before you came on, there were councillors on the outside who said it wields too much power, in part because the members are all handpicked by the mayor, in this case you. And so now we've had a review of governance at City Hall, an independent report by MNP, and it's basically concluded that change might be required, including to the way members are appointed. Do you accept that finding, that change is needed here?
Well, look, I've been leading and supporting the efforts for the governance review. I know there was an attempt by Councillor Lukes to delay the work that we're doing right now, but it's proceeding. And right now we have the governance review virtual events are planned in the upcoming month, as well as the online survey. And I would just invite listeners to visit winnipeg.ca to participate and provide their input. We've made changes, continue to look for where we can make positive changes going forward. And I'm waiting to hear back from Winnipeggers as part of the public engagement, and we'll dive more into the report on implementation of some of the recommendations that make sense based on the feedback we're getting as well.
Mayor Bowman, 6 years ago, you made this part of your campaign to become mayor. You felt that this was something that was important. It feels like perhaps maybe you're not pushing as hard on that right now, sort of letting things play out. Would you not like to leave that legacy as you leave office in a couple of years?
Well, look, we've made changes to open data, open government. We've become a leader in openness and transparency in Canada, moving from, over, I think we were at 21 in the country. We've now moved to second place in the country for the Open Data Index.
What about the specific change of EPC? This is something that you campaigned on, and it's not happening. It's taking more than half a decade at this point.
Well, if you're talking about campaigns, in 2014, I did make a campaign pledge. We later learned, of course, what the legislative constraints were, and I governed myself accordingly and was then, in re-election, earned a stronger mandate on the basis of the manner in which I was leading the city and leading council. And so I think, the manner in which that I've been working with my council colleagues was something that Winnipeggers assessed and provided me with a stronger mandate. That being said, the governance review is something that I have continued to support, and I would just take this opportunity to invite Winnipeggers to participate in that process, let their voice be heard, and we'll see what changes we can make going forward.
These are complicated structures, though, and I think it's great that voters get a chance to weigh in on this, but at the end of the day, you promised that you wanted to see change there. You've had councillors say this committee wields too much power. You have yourself pre-2014 said there's too much power. So other cities, they have a rotation, or they don't even appoint at all council votes. What's stalling this change? Why do we need to wait again for this?
Well, which are you talking about, the governance review in general, or are you talking about the appointment of executive policy committee members?
Because now you have governance review saying what you said 6 years ago. So I appreciate there's a process here that you want Winnipeggers to vote on. But at the end of the day, we could get the ball rolling now on making these changes.
Well, keep in mind, when we reviewed the legislation after 2014, it was pretty clear that the legislation needed to be followed, and so that's what we've done. But the governance review goes a lot further than just that appointment process, and so I think what Winnipeggers need is they need an effective mayor, and so the approach that I've taken is how can I be as effective as possible in addressing the needs of our residents as a head of council. That's something I take very seriously, and that's how I've governed myself over the last 6-7 years.
Mayor Brian Bowman joining us live on 680 CJOB for a monthly visit. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for the time.